Let me ask you a question that might sting a little, but deep down, you already know the answer. Why is it that when you cared the most, they cared the absolute least, but the exact second you went quiet, they suddenly couldn't stop looking? Think about that for a moment. When you were constantly available, texting right back, making excuses for their distance, trying to fix every crack, and putting your own life on pause just to keep them happy, they treated your presence like background noise. They left you on read. They cancelled plans at the last minute. They took your kindness, your loyalty, and your patience completely for granted. And then, you finally had enough. You didn't scream. You didn't write a 5-page angry paragraph. You didn't start an argument. You simply stopped. You closed the door. You put your phone down. You stopped chasing, and you walked away in complete, total silence. And what happened next? Suddenly, the dynamic flipped. Suddenly, they're checking your profile from burner accounts, asking mutual friends how you're doing, and staring at the empty space you left behind, wondering why their usual tricks aren't working anymore. That isn't a coincidence. That is human psychology. The world does not respect desperation. The world respects strength. When you chase someone, you feed their ego while starving your own soul. But when you walk away with quiet dignity, you force them to sit in the cold, uncomfortable reality of your absence. And absence hits harder than any argument ever could. The ancient Stoics understood this thousands of years ago. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca didn't waste their precious breath begging for respect. They understood that the only true power you have in this life is the complete mastery of your own choices. Today, we are breaking down why walking away in silence is the ultimate power move. This isn't about playing petty mind games, and it's not about revenge. It is about reclaiming your self-respect, locking down your boundaries, and becoming so deeply anchored in your own worth that nobody can ever treat you like an option again. Take a slow breath, clear your mind, and let's get into it. Let's establish the first rule right now and burn it into your memory. Stop chasing anyone who isn't meeting you halfway. Stop checking your phone every 2 minutes. Stop over-analyzing their delayed responses. Stop shrinking your personality, your goals, and your standards just to keep a seat at someone else's table. Every single time you chase after someone who is treating you with indifference, you are volunteering to lower your own value. Think about the dynamic of a chase. When you run after someone, where are you positioned? You are behind them. You are beneath them. You are placing them on a pedestal they did not earn, while placing yourself in the dirt. You might tell yourself, I'm just fighting for the connection. I'm just showing them how much I care. No, you aren't. Beneath all that effort, what you are really broadcasting is fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of rejection. Fear that you won't find someone else. And people can sense that fear from miles away. The moment someone realizes that you are terrified of losing them, they stop valuing you. Because human beings rarely place a high price on things that come with zero cost and unlimited availability. Epictetus gave us a truth that cuts straight to the bone. No man is free who is not master of himself. If your daily mood depends on whether someone validates you, you are not free. You are an emotional hostage. The chase ends today. You do not beg for basic effort. You do not negotiate for common decency. If someone wants to be in your life, they will make the effort. If they don't, you let them go, and you keep moving forward without looking back over your shoulder. Now, let's talk about what separates the weak from the truly dangerous. When someone hurts you, disrespects your time, or pulls away, what does the average person do? They explode. They send 10 text messages in a row. They demand an explanation. They post passive-aggressive song lyrics online. They argue until 2 in the morning, trying to make the other person understand how much they hurt them. And every single word you speak in that state leaks your power. When you react with loud emotion, you give them confirmation that they still control you. You show them that they can push a single button and make you dance on command. Silence, on the other hand, is terrifying. Silence creates a psychological vacuum. When you don't fight back, when you don't complain, and when you don't offer a single word of defense, you leave them alone in a quiet room with their own bad behavior. They expect you to chase. They expect you to beg. They expect you to make a scene so they can label you as crazy or difficult. When you give them absolute calm stillness instead, it completely short-circuits their ego. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." That means you don't match their pettiness. You don't mirror their passive-aggressive games. You don't stoop to their level of chaos. You hold your ground like a granite mountain in a hurricane. When they send a cold text, you don't send a warm paragraph. When they pull away, you step back even further. Your silence sends one unmistakable message: you do not have the power to disturb my peace. Here is the biggest mistake people make after walking away. They walk away physically, but mentally they stay glued to the other person. They spend their evenings checking the other person's social media, wondering if they miss them, wondering if they regret what they did, and waiting by the phone, hoping for an apology text. That isn't walking away. That is just pausing the movie while sitting in the front row of the theater. The most lethal response you can ever have to being overlooked is not proving yourself to them. It is rebuilding yourself for you. Seneca once wrote, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." Stop wasting 3 hours a day mourning someone who had no problem treating you like an afterthought. Take that energy, take that frustration, take that heartbreak, and channel it entirely into your own evolution. Lock in. Go to the gym and lift the heavy weights until your body is strong and sharp. Open the books, study the market, learn high-income skills, and get your financial house in ironclad order. Clean up your diet, fix your posture, organize your living space, and set goals that make your heart race. When your schedule is packed from sunrise to sunset with real purpose, discipline, and hard work, you naturally stop caring who texted you. You don't have the time to sit around feeling sorry for yourself. And here is the irony. When you genuinely outgrow someone, when your mind, body, and status have leveled up 3 tiers higher, they will feel it in their bones. Not because you bragged about it, but because your new reality speaks so loudly, it makes their previous disrespect look ridiculous. Understand this fundamental law of toxic dynamics. People who play games with your emotions are addicted to the drama. They thrive on the push and pull. They enjoy knowing that they have the power to make your heart race, make you lose your temper, or make you lose sleep. Your emotional reaction is the fuel that feeds their sense of importance. So, how do you completely disarm them? You starve them. When they expect an argument, give them polite indifference. When they try to make you jealous by flirting with someone else or bringing up an ex, smile casually, nod your head, and say, "That's nice." When they cancel on you for the 3rd time, don't send an angry voice memo. Simply reply, "Understood, best of luck with everything," and permanently remove them from your calendar. Notice what you did there. You didn't give them a single drop of emotional fuel. You gave them 0 tears, 0 anger, and 0 drama. Epictetus taught, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you respond with total, unshakable composure, you flip the mirror right back onto them. They realize that their attempts to manipulate you didn't even scratch the surface of your armor. There is nothing more humiliating to an arrogant ego than realizing that their absence doesn't hurt you, and their presence was never essential to your happiness. Let's get something straight. If you do not build a wall around your self-respect, people will walk into your life, track mud all over your carpet, and expect you to thank them for the visit. Every single time you forgive disrespect without consequences, every time you accept a half-hearted apology with no changed behavior, you are silently teaching them that your boundaries are purely decorative. A boundary is not a threat. A boundary is not an angry speech. A boundary is simply a line in the sand that defines where your peace begins and where their access ends. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength shows up the moment you decide what behavior is allowed to exist in your presence. Start treating your access like an exclusive privilege, not a free public park. Stop answering late-night text messages from people who ignore you all day. Stop making room in your schedule for people who only reach out when they need a favor or an ego boost. Stop offering second, third, and fourth chances to someone who clearly showed you who they were on the first attempt. When someone crosses the line, you don't yell at them. You simply close the gate, calmly, firmly, permanently. When you enforce boundaries without guilt, weak and opportunistic people will immediately complain that you've changed or become cold. Let them talk. What they call cold is just the chill of no longer having free access to your warmth. Why do so many people stay in bad relationships, tolerate toxic friendships, and chase after people who don't care? One word, FAR, the fear of coming home to a quiet apartment, the fear of eating dinner alone on a Friday night, the fear of sitting in silence with their own thoughts. Society has brainwashed us into believing that being alone is a failure, that if your phone isn't constantly buzzing, you must be unlovable or broken. What complete nonsense! Solitude is not a prison. Solitude is the ultimate training ground for your soul. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." When you learn to love your own company, when you can sit in a quiet room with a cup of coffee, a journal, or your own thoughts, and feel completely whole, you become virtually untouchable. Why? Because you can no longer be bribed with cheap attention. A person who is comfortable in solitude will never accept disrespect just to avoid an empty room. They will never stay in a toxic dynamic just to have a warm body next to them. Turn your alone time into your secret weapon. Go on walks without your headphones. Learn new skills without needing anyone's praise. Train your mind to be calm, centered, and self-sufficient. When you stop needing people to validate your existence, you develop an authentic, grounded magnetism that people can feel the second you step into a room. Let's address the desperate trap that keeps millions of people stuck for years: the hunt for closure. How many times have you heard someone say, "I just need one last conversation. I just need them to explain why they did it. I just need them to apologize so I can finally move on"? Listen to me very carefully. You do not need their explanation, and you certainly do not need their apology. Their behavior was the closure. The fact that they disrespected your time was the closure. The fact that they chose to walk away was the closure. The fact that they didn't value what you brought to the table was the answer to every question you could ever ask. Seneca wrote, "While we are postponing, life speeds by." Stop putting your personal progress on hold while waiting for an emotionally immature person to suddenly develop self-awareness. It is not going to happen. The only real closure in this life is elevation. It is taking all that pain, all that confusion, all that betrayal, and using it as rocket fuel to build a life so successful, so peaceful, and so fulfilling that their entire existence becomes a distant, blurry memory in your rear-view mirror. When you elevate your mind, your finances, your health, and your spirit, you don't need to check if they regret losing you, because by the time they realize what they lost, you will be operating on a frequency so high, they wouldn't even be able to reach you if they tried. Look at where you are standing right now. You have a choice to make. You can keep running the same old loop, chasing people who don't care, begging for crumbs of validation, losing sleep over mixed signals, and letting outside chaos dictate your internal peace. Or you can choose the Stoic path of sovereignty. Starting today, you speak less. You chase zero. You hold your composure like an unyielding shield. You build yourself in complete silence. Guard your time like pure gold, and let your absence teach the lessons your words never could. You do not need to announce your departure. You do not need to slam the door on the way out. Just quietly, gracefully, step into your power and never look back. Let your calm unsettle them. Let your silence speak for you, and let your unstoppable growth be the only statement you ever make. If you are ready to stop chasing, reclaim your dignity, and walk away with unbroken strength, drop a comment below saying, "My presence is a privilege." If this message gave you the clarity you needed today, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to be reminded of their own power. Thank you for watching. Keep your mind still, guard your peace fiercely, and stay sovereign.